Russia is about to have its own refugee crisis, like the one it partially engineered in Europe. However, it's a very different one. Putin signs decree granting residency to foreigners who share traditional Russian values. President Vladimir Putin on Monday signed a decree allowing foreign citizens and stateless individuals to apply for temporary residency in the country if they share traditional Russian spiritual and moral values, even in cases when a person does not speak Russian. The decree states that those who oppose the destructive neoliberal ideological agenda, so those fleeing Wokism, right? So instead of fleeing famine and war and wokeism technically does engage in heavy persecution, but you get the point. People would be fleeing wokeism. Tempting, I grant you. In their home country can seek humanitarian support from the Russian authorities by applying for a temporary residence permit. It also tasks the government and foreign ministry with creating a list of countries Moscow considers to be pursuing a destructive neoliberal agenda within 30 days. People applying for temporary residence status in Russia, according to the new humanitarian scheme, would not need to show proof of Russian language proficiency or knowledge of Russian history and the country's laws. Russian authorities have increasingly sought to attract conservative Westerners to the country, positioning Russia as a traditional counterpoint to what they portray as a morally decadent West. In May 2023, authorities announced the creation of a migrant village outside Moscow for conservative American expats. At the time, a migration lawyer said around 200 families wanted to emigrate to the country for ideological reasons. And I can understand that because basically our culture is being changed against our will. It is. There's a certain society that people want to live in and they're told they're not allowed to live in it. They're not even allowed to attempt to create that kind of society. In fact, any solution that they have in the democratic system has essentially been banned. Well, why don't you just go live in a country like that? It looks like some people actually are. And it's going to cause a great big deal of capital flight because it's the right-wingers that have all the bloody money. Because, you know, they work. And last week, Russia's Interior Ministry said an American couple and their children had sought temporary asylum in the country due to a cancelling of traditional and family values, as well as the low level of education in the United States. Also, in fact, is that the end of the article? Yes, it is. Russian tax rate is only 13%. So did you know that? You still get all the same services, it's just 13%. Instead. It was pretty good. Pretty good. Tempting, however, I love my country far too much. And I would rather stay here and fix it than flee. Also, I've got kids. I know, so I don't want to go. However, Russia, I do want to visit Russia one day. Now, the problem is if I live in Russia, I wouldn't be able to earn money because Russia has all kinds of sanctions on it right now. Lots of Russian YouTubers that aren't getting paid. I'll need to double check that. I don't know if that's still the case. But yeah, it's not something I could do. I do want to visit Russia one day. However, I love my country too much. And I'm not going anywhere. You know, as much as the SNP are trying their damnedest to chase me out.